Hello and welcome to the Boxing Life podcast with me, Tony Jeffries, and the co-host of the show, Mr. Glenn Six-Figure Salary Holmes. How's it going, mate?
Good. This is first podcast we've done in the gym, innit?
First,
we filmed in the gym, I think.
First podcast that we've done in Boxingburn, Santa Monica. So we're in this beautiful gym. This is the gym that got named California's #1 gym. It's a Wednesday afternoon, and so we thought we'd come and do this podcast because of the news that got announced today about the Olympic boxing is going to now have professionals in. Boxing in the Olympics is going to have professional fighters in.
So weird.
So, which for me, I think it's a terrible idea that the AIBA is actually going to go through with this and they're going to let this happen. It's bad in so many ways.
I woke up this morning. I had Sky Sports News on when I woke up, and that was like one of the main stories that was on Sky Sports News. And they had all the professional fighters chipping in on it. Bellew, Price, all them guys that fought on Saturday,
right?
Or Sunday. Not one of them had anything positive to say about it. Not one person out of all the clips that they showed from the fighters. Like no one had anything positive to say.
I mean, I don't know why they're doing it. Well, I kind of got a feeling it's got to do with money. I think because the AIBA, they're doing something with professional boxers. Now they've got this WSB tournament where the world-class amateur fighters fighting tournaments with no head guard. Well, they do that now.
And it
with no shirt
counts on the pro record too. So like, that Roushey Warren.
Yeah.
He was like 8-0 when he turned over as a pro.
Right.
Because he'd fought in WSB.
Yeah. It's just a big money-making scheme, and it's so bad for. I think it's going to ruin boxing. It's going to ruin amateur boxing. Which, if you ruin amateur boxing, you're going to ruin boxing as a whole, because that's the grassroots of this sport. And the reason they've already took head guards out, which was a terrible idea. And the reason why that's so bad is because I'm going to ask you, where do parents see amateur boxing?
The only place they're going to see it is on TV is in the Olympics, right?
Right.
Or the Commonwealth Games.
The Olympics, Commonwealth Games is the only time parents actually see amateur boxing. And I bet so many parents in the past have put their kids to boxing who don't know about boxing because of the success, the 2008 Olympics, the Amir Khan in 2004, the 2000 Olympics, Ollie Harrison. So many parents are going to put their kids to boxing because of that success and because they're wearing head guards and they wear big gloves.
They're assured with the safety of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're still trying to take each other's head off when you're fighting, but at the same time, you've got you're hitting to score a point, you're defending, but now they've took that out. Now they went down to 3-minute rounds like a professional boxing match where they're getting scored on aggression.
So they've changed the scoring system as well?
Yeah, they've changed the scoring system, they've took the head guards out of it.
When they took the head guards out, their argument was it's going to make it safer.
See, that...
Like, because didn't they say something like with the head guard on, it was like increasing the impact? See,
that's bollocks, right? It really is. So the reason, one of the main reasons what head guards protect, what people don't ever think of, is the opponent's hands. So now I'm punching a head guard, I'm not punching a rock hard skull. Yeah. If when I was fighting, if there was no head guards in amateur boxing, I would have been retired a long time ago because of my hand problems. Because I'm punching the head guard. As well, another massive thing why head guards should be still in amateur boxing is cuts. I think I got one cut in 96 amateur fights. I turned professional, fighting guys not in their level if I was fighting as an amateur. I fought like 10 journeymen, and I think I got like 8 cuts in 10 fights through heads. You just touch heads and then you get a cut on your hand. So now, back to parents who see amateur boxing for the first time, they're going to watch it in the Olympics. Now they're going to be wearing no head guards, they're getting cut, they're getting bruised, they're getting knocked out, putting these professional fighters in who know how to plant their feet, who know how to work for 3-minute rounds hard. There's going to be knockouts.
Definitely. And then do you think think of the amount of amateur fights you have, right?
Yeah.
Like people who eventually turn pro are like over, most of the time are like 50, 100, 200 amateur fights. They're fighting all the time, right? Then if they're starting to suffer knockouts more frequently in these fights, by the time they turn pro, they're not gonna be as sharp and fresh and as good as a professional too, right? So like you said before, it's gonna eventually hurt the pro game, I think too, right?
Right. Yeah, big time, because it's going to hurt the program as well, because parents is not going to put the kids in. The less boxers there is, being boxers, the less people's going to turn professional.
Yeah.
And for the Olympics now to put professionals in, they do it with football, soccer, they do it with basketball and other sports, but it's completely different.
There's no lives and health. And safety.
It's kind of like two different sports. Although it was in the 2008 Olympics, it was hit and don't be hit. Now it's the toughest guy is going to win the fight.
Right.
So,
and some people would argue there's more skill in amateur boxing than there is in professional boxing.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I think they put them in basketball or soccer or whatever because they're profile boosters. You know what I mean? You throw like Kobe Bryant in the Olympics, it's going to make people watch and tune in.
Yeah.
No one's going to be like, it's not going to hurt or suffer or anything. If anything, it's going to make the people playing with him step up their game, right?
Yeah.
But boxing, it doesn't work like that. You throw, say you threw Mayweather into the Olympics, right? He's just going to clean up and destroy everybody. It's going to destroy everyone's confidence. There's going to be no competition. He's going to knock people out. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, throw Triple G in there with a guy from Africa. He's going to get hurt, you know. Yeah. But at the same time, like you said, there's a lot more skill in amateur boxing, which you're going to have to be a world-class professional to beat a world-class amateur boxer over 3 rounds.
See, like a lot of the pros in England spar with all the British boxing team, don't they?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's the best way. But I just think it's a terrible idea. It's a money-making scheme for the AIBA, and I can't believe. I think there was 88 people who voted for it, and 84 of them voted for yes. We should allow professional boxing to fight in the Olympics.
Here's my question: How many pros do you think are actually going to go into it though?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know how it's going to work. As the pros going to have to qualify for the Olympics, like amateur boxers do? Are they going to get paid for it? I read that they're not going to get paid for it. So are they going to go forward and do that? Don't get me wrong. When I was professional, I would have loved to have went to the next Olympics as a professional fighter. But at the same time, it's wrong. It shouldn't happen. And I mean, it's too late now. But
I can't see too many pros getting involved, to be honest.
No, especially I think there's only one more qualifying tournament left until the Rio Games, which is later on this year. So hopefully none of them get in. And I mean, the biggest thing is no one gets hurt, and parents maybe put the kids into boxing, which is another story I'm not going to go down now, but I wouldn't put my kids in that boxing. I mean, that's it. We just want to get this in while it was hot news, and thank you for listening. And if you're the first time listening to the Boxing Life podcast, you can check out the other podcasts that we've done. We've done a ton of them on all sorts of stuff. We've got some good guests on, like Tony Bellew, who's just won the world title. Fantastic performance over the weekend. He was a guest on here. One of my friends. We've got David Price on and Paul Smith, and them's good podcasts to listen to. And if you're on Instagram, go to at Boxing Life. And if you're not on Instagram, come on, it's 2016. What are you doing? Get on Instagram. But I'll put the links in for the video in the caption. So
it's good stuff. I think people really latch on to what you're saying because you've got so much amateur and Olympic experience. I think people are going to enjoy it and like what you've got to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming from.
We'll see what happens, and I think the more it progresses as a story, like we can keep chipping in on it.
And we'll be able to add more of this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening. Until next time.